I am Angel's Tail. I will today be doing a flip and painting. I don't know what to call it, but its theme is purple. I have other colors in here also, but this is a purple based painting. What you will need is, I would advise cups, because they're reusable. These plastic cups are reusable and they hold a good amount of paint. You're going to need a type of flood. I have this. A type of paint thinner. I use flood. I just haven't confirmed the bottle. You're going to need your paints. It doesn't really matter what type of paints it is. You just really need paints. Popsicle, really anything to mix. You're going to need your canvas. This canvas right here is an 8x10. And it's just what I'm going to be. I usually put down 4 extra cups down as bases to use when doing this. Let me have that. Just that nothing really happens. So first things first, I'm going to take my colors and put them in just areas. I don't have a lot. I usually put gold in all of my paintings, but there isn't always a lot, or it's not a major one. So I'm going to add about an amount that it comes up to here. It matters really how much paint you put in, but I'll put it in and just find out. And just mix it. If it's not thick enough, then I'll just add more. You usually want to get to the consistency of, I don't know what the type of consistency this would be, but it's a liquid now. It's not thick. It's not that thick. So I have that color done. I usually add flood at the end, but I was just giving you an example. You can skip through me adding my colors if you want to. You don't have to. Some of my colors are more liquidy than others, so yeah. I'm going to take away my painting for now, so I don't get anything on it, and while I'm mixing my colors. I have a somewhat color base here. It's not really an exact one, so I'm trying out my colors. So here's one of my colors, and here's another one. As I said, it's a purple theme, so purple. I always add a lighter color and a darker color, so I have the gold as one of my lighter colors, and it just adds a little sparkle. And then I usually add a white. This is a whitish orange. Just because I like that color. Just more of a slight orangish tan. I'm going to add a black gray color also, but not like complete black. It's going to be more like a darker gray, maybe. Yeah, a dark gray. It's pretty much exactly the color I was aiming for. I also have a lighter gray right here that I made on a different occasion. So I'm just going to reuse that. That's why I like these cups, because they have lids also, so if you have extra paints and you might want to reuse it later, you can just pop those on. I'm going to have about 3 or 4 different purple colors in this. So, yeah. Give me a second. Ouch. I'm okay. I got a little bit of that color out. Plum. I'll say this again later, but I would advise you to wear an apron during this, because, like, you might make a mess. Because messes do happen. A lot. Going down a little gray just to make it a bit darker. Making it a little darker here. Just a little bit of gray to it, just to make it a little darker. But it was only like 2 small drops. So, we have colors, my colors now. So I'm actually going to make a little more purple. We have that color now. Actually for my here, these are also reusable and I use them sometimes. I have these. They're puppy pad trainer. They're training pads for puppies. They work really well because they like sop up the paint and stuff in the water if you spill any. I also advise a cup of water to put your popsicle sticks in when you're done mixing to clean them off. I have just lost. Okay. So there's I'm going to be anyways. So now I've done this, I'm going to add flood. If you look, I have on a lot of these I'll have only like this much. And when I add flood to it, I will be bringing it up to about here. So I'll be doing that to all of these. This one already has flood in it, so I'm not adding as much. This one I will be adding the same amount. Some of them are more liquidier than others, so I add a little less flood to them. But overall, they all get around the same amount of flood. Oh, paint thinner. But my brand's called, the brand I use is called Flood, so I use that. I'm going to mix one entirely just to show you what it'll look like when it's done. And then I'll show you what you have to add to give it bubbles. Give it more of a pop. Well, I'll do later. It'll give it more of a pop when you do it later. So this is when you fully mixed a piece with flood in it. When you are done mixing, it'll look like this, but usually to give it a pop sort of color, really just give it to bubble for later. If you want it to bubble later, don't have any examples. You'll add silicone. So silicone will make it so that when you light it on, when you put fire over it, which you do at the very end, bubble up. So I'll spray in a little bit. You don't spray in a whole bunch. It sounds like I'm spraying in a lot, but I'm actually going really slowly. So you do not spray in a lot. I think no more than a teaspoon of it, I think, would be at the most. But I also have heavy duty, so I don't know about what you guys have. So the silicone is really liquidy. So when you're mixing it in, you have to be careful it doesn't spill over. As you guys, if you haven't stopped skipping and you've stopped now, to stop skipping, because now we're going to be getting into it and how to do stuff. You can maybe skip another 10 or 20 seconds for while I'm mixing these. Or not, I might speed it up. I might not, I don't know. Now that we have our colors, I have 7 colors in total here today. Sometimes I'll have more. I usually don't have less. I might have 6 colors. I never really had 5, because I usually like to have colors in mine. So I'm going to So I have a cup here. You might have seen it earlier. I use this cup, and what I'll do is I'll take a starting color. I'll just go this way. I'll put in some of it, maybe half of it, maybe a third. And I'll keep adding this until I'm out of all the colors. You can skip this part if you would like to. It is me just finishing up my colors here. I usually set my cup aside a little bit so that it'll just pool in that way. If you have a lot of paint, you might want to do a bigger cup than smaller. I'm just set this down now. So now this part, you're going to want to tilt it like this, and you're going to want to set it all out. I'd advise you to make sure there's some on the corners with your end stuff. There's enough to be on the corners at least. And then you're going to want to pick it up. Doesn't really matter where or how you pick it. Well, because how you pick it up, but it doesn't really matter where you pick it up. You just slide it along the area until it's covered everywhere. Lots of paint will come off, so you do not need to worry about that. The silicone is already somewhat doing its thing, where it has given us some bubbles already, but that will not be all the silicone is doing. We'll be doing more in a second. I forgot to mention this before, but when this is done, this is when the silicone will come in handy again. You will be needing a fire tool. I have a torch. It will be the silicone, it will be used with the silicone. Advise you to get all flammables away. So I will be moving all my stuff. Okay. We will be bringing it over slowly, but not too slowly. Actually, kind of quickly. You'll see some bubbles in areas. Don't leave it over one area for too long, or it will boil. Give it a second if it's getting too hot, it looks like. Don't touch it if it looks like it's getting too hot. You can feel that it's getting warm, if it is. If you don't like that there's like a bubble in a place, usually you can take a drop. Drop of a couple different colors. If you want to. Just give it specks of color. I don't have gold in a lot of places here, so I'm just adding in specks of it. And then you can either move it around a little bit to get it turning. You do not have to. You can just fire it up after that to just give it its... You can just fire it up again after that. If you have a mess on your hands, just get simple wet wipes or paper towels. Just wipe it off so you don't get paint everywhere. If it still doesn't look like it's right, or you can like still really see the dots, get a straw. I just have this straw on me right now, and you can blow out the dots. Blowing it does give it some really cool textures. So you could do just blow paintings. And then you can do that. And then you just have, then that looks more natural and you have more pops of color where you want them. You can do just blow paintings where it's pretty much that and you just blow a whole bunch where you do like lines. And I will do one of those. It might be my next video, it might be in a couple of videos. But there's that. I'm going to fire it one more time just to see if there's any more bubbles that can be made. But it doesn't really look like it, so I'm going to let it down, and then it will take a little while to dry, but that is okay. But there is one paint. There is my first videoed painting. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you get some inspiration from this, and have a good day. Bye! This is its finished product. I will post it when it is dry and take another couple pictures of it on a background or something. As you can see, the blowing did help and it did give a lot of color to these areas. The fire actually gave these a lot of bubbles, if you go and watch through. But the blowing helped quite a bit also. If you don't like it being bubbly, or less bubbly if you want it, you can add less silicone or just no silicone at all. I will see you guys later then.